though apparently San Francisco, New York, and Los Angeles have no power and the entire infrastructure is down. Did you all hear about that?
Oh.
It's terrible. And
Oh, wow.
welcome to the weekly demos for the 21st. That's a sticky situation for them. Why don't we watch Fletcher and see if his demo makes us feel any better.
My demo?
You get some demo, right? You don't want to show?
I am going to time shift it, I think, and throw something up a bit later. I am really close to something much better than what I have at this moment.
All right.
I can go.
All right, Matt.
All right. So let me share my screen. Whoops. There we go. And oops, different. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna demonstrate. We've been doing quite a bit of work with overhauling the back end of the depot. So the depot currently, the live depot that everybody hits now is hitting a Redis backend store, and we actually did do an implementation for channels that it's not, we don't really leverage that yet, but the implementation that's there on the live side is really an in-memory implementation, and so we essentially have filled that filled that in, so both for channels and for packages and origins and keys and basically everything that you see on the demo. What we have on master is now hitting a Postgres database. And so right now I have all of those services running in a VM, and here in my local browser I'm hitting that VM for the depot. And so what we're looking at is a depot that's not hitting Redis, but is hitting Postgres. And I just have literally just a handful of packages that I've uploaded, but we can see so here I am in Postgres. I'm at the name of the database here is builder origin serve, and here are all the names, just as we see here, of the package names are in the database. And I can, if I point, as I did here, is that if I point my Hab depot URL to this particular depot, I should be able to upload packages. So I could try that. So I could do package upload. Oh wait, Hab and cache effects. That's a good one. Shoot. Well, let's see. Token. I guess I will be wiping this token after this demo. Let's see.
Hey, Dad. You have to work.
Sorry, 1 second. I am working.
Okay, I just have to tell you.
I'm in a meeting right now, sweetie.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. 404 not found. Oh, shoot. That's because I don't have my keys all set up. Well, at any rate, let's see. What else could I show? I could. Let's see. Should be able to download these. I don't want to mess with getting my keys. But so suffice it to say that we've got, everything's hooked up to the database, and really the next step now is migrating the data over. So once we get the data actually migrated over, we should be able to roll this out and get this live. So that's it.
Awesome work, man. So one of the big advantages that we're working towards here is the ability to run this in your own environment. It's going to be much more work required before we get to the best spot possible. But once what's in master right now is a little bit more stable, it'll be less of a jump between the Redis-backed builder's installation and the Postgres-backed one. So it should be a little bit easier to adopt, and you'll be able to get iterative changes. And hopefully soon we can give you full support. But that's in service of this. All right, Salim, you want to go next?
Yeah, definitely. We'll share my screen. And what I'm going to show is really kind of a follow-up from something I've demoed previously, which is when we schedule the build. After that build is done, we also have the capability with the builder services to schedule packages that depend on what we've just built. In the past, what I've demoed is the builds happening and being dispatched one at a time, right? So if there's multiple dependencies, we go to dependency 1, 2, 3 serially. This change is essentially being able to dispatch more in parallel, again, depending on if all of the dependencies that a specific package depends on, if they're ready, then we go ahead and dispatch them. So what I'm going to show, basically, if you can see this screen on the right-hand side, I'm going to just kick off, and hopefully this will be short and sweet. I'm going to kick off a schedule of HAB Studio. And on the left-hand side, you'll see some output scrolling from our builder services that basically you can see if I scroll up here, it's already kind of created a job for the HAB Studio. Now, HAB Studio depends on these three different other packages. You can see the Builder Worker, ACI, and Dockerize are the 3 packages. And so what I'm going to quick do is get the status here in just a second. Get with that specific ID. And now you can see right now, it's already built the first one, which has succeeded. And all these 3 other ones are now all in progress. And previously, they would be not started, and one would be in progress. So these things, right now, it takes a while to build. I only have one builder worker that's actually doing the builds. But if we had multiple of those, it would be fully in parallel. So that really is kind of the essence of the demo. Yeah, that's it.
Excellent work, man. This is huge. So this work leads up to the ability to rebuild a lower level dependency. So if you have an application that depends on, like Nginx, and then Nginx depends on OpenSSL, what will happen is when OpenSSL is rebuilt, it'll notify the build system to rebuild Nginx and then rebuild your application as well. That's the big play in the end, at least. So what we're hoping here is that pretty soon we can release this to the public for, at the very least, the core packages, and then see how we can expand on top of that, and what our traffic looks like, and start to enable you to rebuild your packages as well. So that is the end of the demos, I think, for this week. We'll have some pretty interesting stuff regarding a little bit of evolution on scaffolding next week, and some more work towards the operable build service. We'll see you guys next week.